Man, I had a ridiculous weekend this last weekend. Something went wrong at my Airbnb while guests were staying there, but it was a terrible time for me to stop and deal with it because I had a lot going on in my personal life and my own situation. And so I want to tell you about what went wrong and how we got it fixed. But to do that, I got to kind of paint you the full picture. So I'm going to set the table a little bit, tell you about what was going on the day or two before all that, so you can really appreciate what's going on. Because if you do this Airbnb thing, short-term rental thing long enough, eventually you're going to have a problem while a guest is down there, and you're going to have to fix it. And lo and behold, it's going to be the worst, most inconceivable time for you. It's going to be super inconvenient, but you got to deal with it. Or, the guests are going to leave you a nasty review. They're going to leave. You may have to refund them, whatever. So here's what was going on. So Thursday night, June 29th, the storm of the decade, I guess, rolled into, the Indianapolis area, greater Indianapolis area, and just wrecked everything. The electric company said that it had the force of a tornado and was the mass of a hurricane, so it was a big boy. It knocked down trees, blew out transformers, power lines came down, everything. Our power got knocked out Thursday afternoon, so when I came home from work, the power was already out. And I would say it's fairly common for a big storm to hit and then our power to go out for a few hours, maybe a little bit longer, but I fully expected our power to come back on later that night or sometime in the middle of the night. So we didn't think much of it. We went to bed. My wife, God bless her, what a trooper, super pregnant. All she asked for was for me to run out to Walmart and get a battery-operated fan to help her sleep. And I said, absolutely, babe. I love you so much. I'll do anything for you, including I'll go on a Walmart run. And that's what I did. So I went to the camping section. That's where they keep the battery-operated fans, FYI. Got a little $20 fan for her. She was super happy. It was a pretty nice fan, honestly. I'm glad we'll have it. We're definitely going to take it camping next time we go camping. And then we all went to bed. The disruption of the sleep cycle for my children, especially my son Henry, he's like 2.5. It caused him to wake up at about 1 a.m. and just be fully alert. Like, I'm ready to party, fully alert. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's not the time to be playing. That's the time to be sleeping. So from like 1 to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it was just a whole lot of, hey, let's put Henry back to sleep. Let's get him with Patsy. Let's try milk. Why don't you sleep with Mom? Why don't you come down and sleep downstairs with Dad? Let's do anything we can do. But nothing really worked. Eventually fell asleep at sometime around 4 o'clock in the morning. We got a few hours of sleep, and then my daughter gets up early. So we all get up early. We're not running out a lot of sleep, and the power's still out. So me, being the loving husband of the year that I am, I called off work for Friday, knowing that, again, I'm not going to leave my super pregnant wife with 2 young children and without the modern conveniences of air conditioning and technology to watch them all day. So we needed to formulate a plan, and I was going to hang out with her until we formulated said plan. So we started making calls, reaching out to family and friends, and we're super fortunate. We got a lot of great people in our community. Erica and Patrick, if you're watching this, shout out to you. You let us come down there and stay with you, hang out for the day. So the plan was the wife takes the kiddos down there for the day. I'm going to stay up here, and I might as well get a few things knocked off of my to-do list while I'm here, since I got the day off. And if the power is not on by the time, that evening, then I'll just come on down there. I'll pack the bag, and I'll bring food that's going to spoil and whatnot. So that was the plan. Beautiful sunny day, so the first thing I thought is, I'm going to mow the grass. I'm going to pop off the top so I can get a little bit of color, get the sweat going. It's a beautiful sunny day. And my lawnmower decided not today, boss. Not today. It started, but it sounded like what I would describe as a smoker with whooping cough. So not running great, and it would die after about a minute of running. So I tried to do what I could do to troubleshoot it, clean the air filter, dumped out the gas, put fresh gas in there, try to clean out the spark plug, clean up the spark plug. Nothing helped, so, beyond what I could do, I didn't have a dad growing up, so I don't know how to tinker with engines much more than me on that. So I called in the pros. I called the local small engine shop. They said, absolutely, bring it on in. Bring it on in. So I said, no problem. I'll drop it off this evening. So I load that up in the truck, did a few more things around the house, and then towards the end of the day, the power's still not back on. And, you know, I'm checking my emails, I'm reading about it, and I know that it might be a while before our power comes back on. So I'm fully prepared to, let's just bail out of this house. Let's go down to our friend's house. We'll be refugees. They're taking us in. That way we don't have to go to a FEMA camp or something like that. I don't know what's happening because people start missing meals. You know, refrigerators start spoiling food. I mean, people could be purging in the streets by the evening. So I'm like, I'm just ready to get out of here. Let's get going. So I run to the gas station. I get 3 giant bag of ice, like the big boys. I put all my food in the deep freezer, cover it with ice. That way I, hope it keeps. Everything except the Costco ribs. We had some recent Costco run. You know I love Costco, so we got the Costco ribs. Took those in the truck because, I'm going to eat ribs before they go bad. Can't risk it. Not worth the risk. So, load it up, start heading to the motorcycle shop. At this point, my battery level on my phone is running about, 7%, which is pretty low, but I know, hey, I can charge it on the way down there. I'll charge it when I get down there. Everything's going to be fine. That was not the case, obviously, if you read the title of this video. So it is 3:58 p.m. on a Friday, on a holiday weekend, and I've got guests that checked in Thursday night to the Airbnb down south, like 2.5 hours south of me. And to kind of give you an idea, this is a 6-night booking over July 4th. So it's probably the premier week booking that I'm going to get all year. It's the number one time where somebody's going to book my place. It was like a $1,600 payout for me, and it's probably closer to $2,000 for them when you add taxes and fees and whatnot. So, pretty significant booking that I wanted to make sure that they would remain happy. So, lo and behold, I'm on my way to the lawnmower shop, got my ribs in the back seat, and I get a text message that says, "Hi, Mike. We don't think the air conditioner is functioning properly. It's set at 72 degrees in the house, but it's saying 78 and it's hot." So at this point, I feel terrible. You go ghost white. You get the cold sweats. Your stomach starts churning. You get the sour stomach, and you're just like, come on. You got to be kidding me. I don't want to deal with this. Can I deal with this? I'm driving right now. I slept like crap. I do not want to deal with this at all. Stressful situation compounded by what was already going on in my personal life. So now I'm really stressing. But there's a book out there that I've never read, and it's called Made for This. And I feel like I respond really well to stressful situations, so I'm made for this. That's a plug for a book I've never read, but my wife talks about it, so I recommend go read that book. So I've got 7% battery. I got to start making some calls. I got to handle this ASAP, and I got to make my phone calls count. So the first thing I do is I call the HVAC/plumbing guy that I've used in the past. I call them. I talk to their reception. I say, "Yo, I'm in a jam. Do you have anybody available?" It being 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon before a holiday weekend, of course they didn't have anybody available. So they said, "No, we don't have anybody available." I'm like, "Okay, well, what about Saturday?" And they said, "Nope, we don't work on Saturdays and Sundays." I'm like, "What about Monday?" And they're like, "No, I could tell they didn't really want to schedule it or help me out. So I said, "You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll call you back if I need you." I called my backup HVAC/plumber that I've used in the past, and their phone number rang and went straight to a generic voicemail. So I don't even know if they are still in business at this point. And now I'm out of HVAC plumbing guys, because I've only had the house a year, and I don't have a vast network of people to contact when things go wrong. So those are my 2 bail me out people. They did not bail me out. So now I'm Googling, and I'm driving, which isn't safe, but I'm doing it because crisis, you got to do it. And I Google HVAC and the name of the nearby town where the Airbnb is, and I come up with Kelly's HVAC service or something like that. And I call them. I tell him my situation, and the guy, his name was Ben, he said, "Yeah, Yeah, I can swing by there tonight. I'm close by. It's $119 service fee due to the holiday weekend. And I'm like, bro, all day. Get out there and save the day for me. And he said, okay, I'll text you when I'm heading that way. I'm like, okay, good. So I'm able to text the guest, say, hey, sorry about this. I've got an HVAC guy named Ben. He's on his way. I'll let you know when he's coming. So he does. He texts. He says, I'm on the way. I let them know. He shows up. The guest asks, hey, he needs to get in the basement. I tell the guest where the hide key is so they can open the basement, get down to the HVAC unit. He goes down there. 10, 15 minutes later, calls me and said, you're all set, boss. I've got you fixed up, ready to go. It was the capacitator on your air conditioning unit. Super common for those to fail, especially in these hot days and weather like this. Cheap fix. I got you taken care of. $186 total cost. Service fee, replacement part, labor, all that stuff. Done. I said, thank the Lord. Can I pay you over the phone? He said, absolutely. So I give him my credit card information. I pay him. He emails me the receipt. I get the receipt at 6:13 p.m. So 4 o'clock is when I know that's the first time the guest texts me that there's a problem. And it is solved at 6:13 p.m. So that's a 2-hour window where I went from massive crisis to resolved. And that HVAC company and that dude, they've got my business. They go to number one on my list from here on out. As long as they continue to service and handle the business like they did, they took care of business. They saved my butt, and I'm so appreciative of them. So they got my service for life, as long as they don't screw it up or go out of business. So super happy with that. And the rest of the guest stay was uneventful throughout the rest of the week. They didn't have any problems. I'm curious to see what their review is going to be like, and I'm definitely going to make a video about it when I get that review, because from their point of view, the air conditioner broke, which can totally just jack up their whole vacation. They paid good money to stay here, but they let their host contact know, me, and then they called an HVAC guy, got it resolved within 2 hours. And I like to think that's fantastic customer service, and I hope that they're honest in the review and they don't fault me for something breaking that I really don't have any control over, and they leave a great review. So stand by for a second part of this video someday if they leave a review, because I definitely am going to review that. And as far as my personal situation, our power came back on Saturday night. So we were without power for 52 hours. We were fortunate that most of our food kept. We did lose something, but like I said, kind of a first world problem. We needed to purge our fridge anyways of unused food or unwanted food or spoiled food or whatever. We lost the ice cream sandwiches, but I'm kind of fat, so I don't really need ice cream sandwiches. So I call that kind of as a, addition by subtraction kind of thing. So no love lost there. We honestly had a really good time staying at our friend's house. We invited some other friends over. We cooked up all the ribs. We had a great time. It was really kind of a fun weekend without that 2 little hour stressful window in there. And I just wanted to tell this story because if you're going to do this, you have to know that these problems are going to rise at the most inconvenient times for you, and you have to be able to step away and handle them if you want to be successful. It worked out for me this time, but I think about what would have happened if Ben and the HVAC company weren't able to get in there and fix it quickly. Would I had to refund them? Would I have gotten a terrible review? Would I just lose all confidence and stop doing this? Maybe. I don't know. So I don't know how that would have gone. I'd kind of like to explore that thought later in a future video, but this video is getting long enough for me today. So I'm going to leave it at that. Before you go, you got to do all that crappy YouTube stuff where you like, comment, subscribe, share, everything, all that, and then come back later and check out other videos. And in the meantime, if you're interested in doing this, you should get out there and get looking for your own place, because it is doable. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out as I go, and I'll be happy to share what I know. You just got to ask. So thanks, everybody. I love y'all, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.